The alien's red eyes glowed with an intensity that made the vastness of space seem even darker. Its hulking figure stood menacingly on the deck of the massive warship, its claws flexing as if in anticipation of the kill. Behind it, Earth, a distant, fragile blue orb, floated in the cosmos, unknowing of the impending destruction hanging above it. The stars, once tranquil and silent, now bore witness to an impending doom. All that stood between the alien invader and the extinction of an entire planet was one human, a soldier, a survivor, and now, Earth's only hope. Leon Kastov, a battle-hardened commander, could hear his heartbeat thudding in his chest as he tightened his grip on his energy blade. The weapon, a shimmering blue saber-like instrument, hummed faintly, its light casting a faint glow on his sweat-slicked face. Every inch of his body screamed with exhaustion, but his mind remained sharp, adrenaline coursing through his veins. The Krithar, the alien species responsible for the decimation of entire worlds, stood before him. A creature of pure destruction, bred for war and carnage. It had razed cities, toppled empires, and now, it sought to reduce Earth to a barren wasteland. The silence between them was deafening. It was as if the universe itself held its breath, waiting for the final act to unfold. The alien's voice, guttural and filled with malice, broke the stillness. "Human," it hissed, its eyes narrowing to fiery slits. "Do you think you, a mere insect, can stand between me and your doomed world?" Leon clenched his jaw, forcing the fear from his mind. Every instinct told him that he was outmatched, that he didn't stand a chance against this monstrous being. But surrender wasn't an option. He had seen what the Krithar were capable of, seen the cities turn to ash, the families ripped apart, the screams that echoed long after the flames had died. He wouldn't let Earth face that fate. "I don't care what you are," Leon said, his voice hoarse but steady. "You're not getting to Earth. Not today." The Krithar's lips twisted into a grotesque grin, exposing rows of jagged, razor-sharp teeth. "Brave words, but they won't save you. They won't save your world." With a sudden, explosive movement, the Krithar lunged at Leon, its claws outstretched and gleaming in the low light. The speed of the attack was staggering, faster than anything Leon had ever seen before. Instinct took over, and he raised his energy blade just in time to intercept the alien's strike. Sparks flew as the weapon clashed against the Krithar's claws, the impact reverberating through Leon's arms. The force of the blow sent Leon skidding backward across the metal deck, his boots screeching against the surface. His muscles strained as he fought to hold his ground, the alien pressing down on him with unimaginable strength. His heart pounded in his chest as he pushed back, teeth gritted in sheer defiance. But despite the pain, despite the weight of the alien bearing down on him, Leon stood firm. The Krithar growled lowly, clearly frustrated that the human hadn't already crumpled under its assault. With a snarl, it withdrew its claws and circled Leon, the sharpness of its talons scraping ominously against the metal floor. Its eyes burned with a predatory hunger, studying its opponent as if deciding where to strike next. Leon's breath came in ragged bursts, the weight of the battle already bearing down on him. His body screamed for rest, but his mind remained focused. He couldn't afford to slip, not even for a second. He was all that stood between this creature and the annihilation of his home world. "You don't understand," the Krithar said, its voice dripping with malice. "Your planet is already marked. The weapon is primed. Even if you manage to delay me here, Earth's fate is sealed. I will burn your cities. I will scour your lands until nothing remains but dust and echoes." Leon's fingers tightened around the hilt of his blade, his knuckles white. The thought of Earth's destruction, of billions of lives wiped out in an instant, sent a surge of fury through him. His fear morphed into anger, fueling his resolve. This alien had no idea what it was up against, not just him, but the spirit of every human who had ever fought for survival, who had faced impossible odds and refused to back down. "You talk too much," Leon spat, his eyes narrowing. "Why don't you show me what you've got?" The alien's grin widened, a low, bone-chilling laugh rumbling from its throat. It obliged. In a blur of motion, the Krithar attacked again, its claws a whirlwind of deadly strikes. Leon's energy blade flashed as he parried each blow, the sharp clang of metal against energy filling the air. The alien was relentless, every strike more forceful than the last, each one designed to wear Leon down, to exploit any weakness. But Leon had been in battles before. He had seen death, fought in the trenches of wars that spanned continents. He wasn't just a soldier, he was a survivor. And he knew how to hold on. Time seemed to stretch and bend around them, the battle becoming a dance of life and death. The stars beyond the ship twinkled serenely, indifferent to the violence unfolding beneath them. Earth, the delicate blue jewel in the distance, spun slowly on its axis, unaware of how close it had come to destruction. Leon's arms burned with effort, every muscle in his body straining as he blocked and dodged the Krithar's attacks. The alien's strikes were powerful and precise, but Leon was faster, more agile. He ducked under a wide slash and rolled to the side, bringing his blade up in a swift counterattack. The edge of his energy blade sliced across the alien's side, and dark, oily blood sprayed into the air. The Krithar howled in rage, its red eyes blazing with fury. It clutched its side, dark ichor seeping between its fingers. But it didn't falter. Instead, it lunged at Leon with renewed vigor, its movements wild and desperate. Leon barely had time to react. The alien's claws raked across his chest, the sharp talons tearing through his armor and cutting into his skin. Pain exploded through him, but he didn't cry out. Instead, he gritted his teeth and staggered back, his blade still held firmly in his grasp. "You're resilient," the Krithar growled, its voice filled with venom. "But you can't win. You're just delaying the inevitable." Leon wiped the blood from his mouth with the back of his hand, his eyes burning with determination. He refused to be intimidated. "We'll see about that." The two combatants circled each other, the air thick with tension. The alien's movements were slower now, its injuries starting to take their toll. But it was still dangerous, still capable of delivering a killing blow if Leon made a single mistake. Leon's mind raced, searching for an opening, a weakness he could exploit. He couldn't win this fight through brute strength alone. The Krithar was too powerful. But maybe, just maybe, he could outthink it. His eyes flicked to the control panel on the side of the ship's platform, where the alien's weapon systems were housed. If he could reach it, if he could disable the weapon before the Krithar finished him off, then Earth might still have a chance. The alien seemed to notice his glance, its red eyes narrowing suspiciously. "You think you can stop the weapon?" it sneered. "Even now, it prepares to fire." "You're too late, human." Leon's heart pounded in his chest, but he forced himself to stay calm. He needed to buy himself some time. "Maybe," he said, his voice low and steady. "But I'll die trying." The alien roared in fury and charged, its claws raised high for the killing strike. But this time, Leon was ready. As the Krithar lunged, Leon sidestepped at the last second, spinning around and driving his blade into the alien's side. The energy blade hummed as it pierced through the Krithar's flesh, cutting deep into its body. The alien let out a guttural scream of pain, its body convulsing as it staggered back. Leon withdrew his blade and took a step back, breathing heavily as he watched the creature writhe in agony. For a moment, it seemed like the fight was over. The Krithar fell to one knee, its claws clutching at the gaping wound in its side. But then, with a final surge of strength, the alien lunged at Leon one last time, its claws outstretched. Leon reacted on pure instinct. He raised his blade and brought it down in a swift, clean strike. The blade sliced through the Krithar's neck, severing its head from its body in one fluid motion. The alien's body collapsed to the ground with a heavy thud, its head rolling across the platform. Silence fell over the ship, broken only by the faint hum of the energy blade in Leon's hand. It was over. Leon staggered back, his body trembling with exhaustion and pain. He had won. He had killed the Krithar, but there was no time to rest. The alien's weapon was still active, and Earth was still in danger. With a deep breath, Leon sheathed his energy blade and limped over to the control panel. His hands shook as he accessed the alien systems, his eyes scanning the holographic displays. The weapon was primed and ready to fire, its target locked onto Earth. Panic surged through Leon as he worked frantically to disable the weapon. His fingers flew over the controls, entering commands and bypassing security protocols. But the Krithar's encryption was complex, and time was running out. Sweat dripped down Leon's face as he fought to keep his focus. His arm throbbed with pain, the deep cuts from the Krithar's claws still bleeding. But he couldn't afford to stop. He couldn't afford to fail. The seconds ticked by, each one bringing the weapon closer to firing. Leon's heart raced as he worked, his breath coming in short, ragged bursts. But he refused to give up. He had come too far to let Earth be destroyed now. With a final command, Leon disengaged the weapon's targeting system. The energy cannon powered down, its deadly charge dissipating into the void of space. Leon collapsed against the control panel, his body trembling with exhaustion and relief. He had done it. He had saved Earth. But as he stared out at the distant blue planet, he knew that this was only the beginning. The Krithar were relentless, and they wouldn't stop until they had destroyed everything in their path. But Leon was ready. He had faced the enemy and lived to tell the tale. And as long as he drew breath, he would continue to fight. For Earth. For humanity. For the future. Let them come.